All right, so get ready because today we are going like deep into manifestation.
Ooh, I like it.
But not the way like, you usually hear about it.
Right.
You want to know how it all works from like a scientific point of view? Like, can we really train our brains to attract what we want?
Yeah, is it all just like,
Is there hard science?
woo-woo stuff
Behind the law of attraction?
Yeah.
Well, you sent over this Birdie article called How to Manifest, according to a neuroscientist.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to say,
What a title.
Dr. Tara Swart, who they interviewed for this, she makes some really compelling points.
He's great.
This is not about like magic spells or anything.
Oh, no.
Get ready to discover how understanding like your brain can actually help you reach your goals.
It's true, and it's so interesting because people think of manifestation as this like mystical, out there thing.
Right.
But what's so cool is there are actual real brain processes happening.
Okay, so let's like start from the beginning. What is manifestation like according to Dr. Swart?
So she defines it as bringing things you want into your reality through strong intention.
Oh.
But here's the thing, and action.
Okay.
So it's not just wishing on a star.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your thoughts and like what you do in the world.
So it's not enough to just like daydream about my dream job.
Yeah.
I have to actually like polish my resume.
Exactly.
And go on interviews.
You got to put in the work.
Okay.
Think of it like training for a marathon. You don't just become a marathon runner just by thinking about it.
Right.
You got to lace up your shoes.
Yeah.
You got to pound the pavement.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work.
You got to do it.
Manifestation is similar. You need a clear goal and then concrete steps to get there.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It makes it seem so much more approachable.
Yeah.
And less like,
Less woo-woo.
yeah, like magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But where does the brain science come in?
Well, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Dr. Swart mentions selective attention, which to me sounds a lot like how I can tune out like a whole room full of people when I'm reading a good book.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what she's getting at?
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Really?
Think about when you're looking for your keys.
Oh my gosh.
They're suddenly everywhere, right?
Yes.
Your brain is laser focused.
Yeah.
It's filtering out everything else to help you achieve that goal. Find your keys. That's selective attention in action.
Okay.
And it's key to manifestation because think about it. You can't manifest what you don't even notice. If your brain is filtering out information related to your goals,
Right.
how will you ever reach them?
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
Like if I want to manifest a new apartment,
Okay.
but I'm so busy scrolling on social media
Right.
that I'm not even seeing the for rent signs
Yeah, exactly.
that are like right in front of me.
It's about clarity of intention.
Okay.
You need to be clear on what you want
Yeah.
and actively look for opportunities. But selective attention is only part of the puzzle.
Ow.
Dr. Swart also talks about something called value tagging.
Ooh, value tagging.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, break it down for me, value tagging.
Okay, so think of it this way.
Okay.
Your brain is constantly bombarded with information.
Yeah.
It has to decide what's important.
It's kind of prioritized.
It's like a giant filing system.
Yeah.
And it slaps a high priority sticker on certain things based on logic and emotion.
So it's not just about what I think I should want,
Right.
but also about what I feel drawn to.
Exactly.
Even if it's not logical.
Even if it seems illogical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying our emotions play a bigger role
Way bigger.
in manifestation than we might realize.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dr. Swart uses this great example of grocery shopping.
Okay, I'm listening.
We know logically we should buy in-season produce.
Yeah. To save money.
You save money, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when you've had a rough day?
Don't even get me started.
Suddenly that pricey takeout
Ooh, yeah.
looks really good.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
Your brain has value tagged that convenience and comfort as more important in that moment.
Oh, man.
Even though logically...
Even though I know I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I know.
Shoo.
Oh, I feel so seen right now.
It happens to the best of us.
Okay, so this value tagging,
Yes.
it can be a double-edged sword.
Totally.
It can work for us when we, prioritize things that are good for us.
Yes.
And line up with our goals.
Align with our goals, yeah.
But it can totally sabotage us
Oh, yeah?
if our emotions lead us astray.
Big time.
And it sounds like becoming aware of how we assign value
Yes.
is super important for overcoming potential blocks
Totally.
to manifestation.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're talking about rewiring our brains to value tag differently.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
So kind of cool, right?
that sounds a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Like, where do I even start? Do I need to sign up for like some crazy brain training program?
No, not at all.
Really?
You don't need any fancy gadgets or expensive courses to rewire your brain.
Okay.
Dr. Swart suggests something much simpler and honestly more enjoyable.
What is it?
Mindfulness meditation.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Just sitting there quietly can help me manifest.
It can. I mean, think about it. When you're mindful, you're more present.
Right.
You're less distracted by like worries or to-do lists.
Okay, yeah.
Dr. Swart emphasizes that mindfulness is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Because it has a real impact on neuroplasticity.
Okay, so for those of us who didn't go to med school, what does that mean?
Basically, brain scans of people who meditate regularly show actual changes in the structure and function of their brains.
So they're
rewiring their neural pathways.
Rewiring their brains. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like building mental muscle.
It is.
The more I practice mindfulness, the stronger my brain becomes at focusing on what actually matters.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just focus.
Okay.
Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings, even those pesky subconscious beliefs.
Oh, yeah?
And emotional blocks that might be holding you back without you even realizing it.
That's a little scary.
It can be.
To think about.
Yeah, but you become more attuned to what you're actually prioritizing.
Yeah.
Both consciously and subconsciously.
So speaking of emotional blocks, the article mentioned how, like, past experiences, like a bad breakup or a career setback, can create these invisible barriers.
They do.
That prevent us from moving towards what we want.
Yeah.
Is that what she means by, like, emotional blocks?
Yes. And they can be incredibly powerful, shaping how we value tag things. Without us even realizing it.
So give me an example.
Sure. Dr. Swart talks about someone who might avoid relationships because of past hurt. Their brain could be subconsciously filtering out potential partners.
Wow.
Or labeling commitment as like negative and threatening.
Really?
Even if they consciously desire a relationship.
So if I'm like saying I want something,
you could be working against yourself.
My subconscious could be working against me based on these past experiences.
They happen.
It feels like a losing battle.
No, it's not a losing battle at all.
Really?
With awareness and conscious effort. You can absolutely overcome these blocks. Mindfulness is a powerful tool because it helps you identify those limiting beliefs and start challenging them. It's not about erasing the past, but understanding how it's affecting your present and making conscious choices to move forward.
So I'm not just a prisoner of my past experiences.
No.
I can learn from them and like create new neural pathways that support my goals.
That's the goal.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got mindfulness meditation to help rewire those value tags and overcome those sneaky emotional blocks. What else can we do?
Well, Dr. Swart mentioned something called action boards. Are those like vision boards?
I was just going to ask that. I've always loved the idea of like creating a visual representation of my goals. But does that actually make a difference?
Action boards are definitely related to vision boards. But they take things a step further.
How so?
They bridge the gap between dreaming and doing. Between intention and action.
So instead of just having like pictures of my dream home, I might also include actionable steps.
Exactly.
Like researching neighborhoods or talking to a mortgage lender.
That's the idea. It's not just about visualization, but also about taking those concrete steps that bring you closer to your goal.
I like that.
However, the visual element is still super important. Images can subconsciously influence our choices.
Interesting.
Gently nudging us toward actions that align with our goals.
So by surrounding myself with visual reminders of what I want, I'm basically priming my brain.
You are.
To be on the lookout for opportunities.
Exactly.
And making choices that actually support my goals.
Actually.
Okay, this is making a lot of sense. So manifestation is this like blend of science and intention.
It is.
Of understanding how our brains work. And then taking concrete action.
You're right about it being a blend.
Okay.
We're not just passive observers in our lives, hoping for the best.
Right.
We have the power to shape our reality by aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions towards what we want to create.
I love that.
Yeah.
But it also kind of makes me wonder,
what's that?
If our brains are always like filtering and prioritizing based on our experiences and those like hidden beliefs that we were talking about?
Yeah.
How do we know that we're not like accidentally limiting ourselves?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. Like, how can I be sure that I'm not missing out on amazing opportunities?
Yeah.
Just because my brain is like stuck in a certain way of seeing things.
That's a really insightful question.
Yeah.
And it highlights a crucial aspect of manifestation.
What's that?
Self-awareness.
The self-awareness, okay.
We need to be willing to examine our own subconscious biases and how they might be shaping our reality.
Okay.
It's like checking for blind spots before we merge onto a busy highway.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's not just about focusing on what I want.
Yeah.
But also about becoming aware of those like hidden filters and beliefs.
Yeah, those blind spots.
That might be blocking my view.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's pretty wild to think about how much our subconscious like really affects our reality.
It is, yeah.
It's like we're walking around with these invisible glasses, like shaping how we see the world and the opportunities in it.
Absolutely, and it speaks to why just wishing for things isn't enough. Real change requires us to like really look inward, honestly and with courage.
So we've talked a lot about understanding how our brains work, and how we can use that knowledge to manifest.
Yeah.
But it's also been about recognizing that we have a responsibility to challenge our limiting beliefs.
Absolutely.
And get outside those comfort zones.
You got it. You hit the nail on the head.
Okay, good.
Manifestation isn't about waiting for things to happen.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the power we have to shape our own experiences.
So for someone who's like just starting out on their manifestation journey, what would you say is the most important thing to remember?
I think the most important thing is to remember that you're not just a passenger on this ride.
Okay.
You are the driver.
Okay.
You have the power to choose your destination and navigate the road ahead.
I like that.
You know?
Yeah.
It's about understanding the map, how your brain works.
Okay.
And making conscious choices that align with your goals.
So it's like we've been given this incredible vehicle.
Yes.
Our brain.
Yes.
But we haven't really been taught how to drive it effectively.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
This deep dive has been like a crash course in brain mechanics and how to take the wheel.
How to drive the brain. I love it.
And like learning to drive, it takes practice and patience.
Definitely.
You know, some days you'll cruise smoothly. Other days you might hit a few bumps in the road.
You're going to stall out a couple times.
We might.
Yeah.
But the key is to keep going.
Yeah.
To learn from those bumps and to trust that you have the power to reach your destination.
This has been so eye-opening.
That's a fascinating topic.
We've learned that manifestation isn't about magic spells or wishful thinking. It's about understanding how our brains work.
Yeah.
And consciously directing our thoughts and feelings and actions toward the things that we want to create.
Absolutely.
It's about awareness.
Yes.
Intention.
Yes.
And taking action.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
We started this whole deep dive by asking if there was like a scientific basis for the law of attraction.
Right.
And I think it's safe to say the answers are resounding yes.
It really is. The brain is an amazing organ.
It is.
Capable of incredible change and growth.
Yeah. And the more we understand how it works, the more we can tap into its power to create a life that's like full of purpose and joy and fulfillment.
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll leave everyone with one final thought.
Okay, sure.
If our brains are constantly like filtering information and assigning value based on our experiences and beliefs, what incredible opportunities might we be missing out on?
Yeah, what's out there?
What amazing possibilities might be hidden just beyond like the limits of our current perception?
It's a great question for everyone to think about.
It is.
You know? So much we don't know.
I encourage you to explore those questions.
Yeah.
To challenge your assumptions.
Absolutely.
And to embrace like the boundless potential that lies within you.
Everyone has so much potential.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.